What do you want to be when you grow up? As each girl stood and presented, it was surreal how much our futures had aligned. We'd all chosen the same thing. Teacher. Because our teacher was a woman, our classroom was our world, and no one had told us there was a whole universe left to explore.
I noticed that there were less girls, and it began with like half and half, and then as the years went on, there were less girls. Sometimes I would be the only girl there.
My classes would have like 50 to 100 people, and there would be like less than 10 girls in all those classes. And I joined another project. There were no girls on the project. I was the only girl for the entire few years that I was in charge of it. You know, it's a little intimidating.
We aren't used to seeing girls in STEM, which makes us kind of fear that we're gonna not succeed.
You get interested in what you're exposed to. The people you know, the role models around you are in science and technology. That's what you know. That's what you become familiar with.
There's a tendency for girls to shy away from physics or engineering or computer science at their schools.
I noticed that when I went to school, there were very few women then. And when I first came to JPL, there were very few women.
I stare up at a wall of imprinted hands, each identical in shape, hoping one day to put my own up there. But as the years went on, my hand grew differently, smaller palm, thinner fingers. So when the time came, I stuffed my hands back into my pocket.
Not a day goes by that I don't have doubts.
I doubt myself every single day.
Doubting myself was a big part of my journey.
I have doubted myself because of the environment around me. It's still like that. Even though it's better than the past, there's still a struggle.
People call it imposter syndrome, where you think that everybody around you knows more than you do and that you're somehow woefully inadequate.
You don't really belong, or you're not good enough.
No, you can't do that. You're a girl, or you're not smart enough, or you're not technical enough.
If you look around, the people that have imposter syndrome are very often people that don't match society's picture. Probably not white, probably not male.
That feeling's going to be there. I think the thing is to just know that that's not necessarily the reality.
And we have very strong women in our field, in the STEM fields. A lot of times a woman does the job much better, I've seen.
I was a lawn stemming from the earth. I caught dewdrops. Dandelions sprouted from the brightest places. And yet, with every growth, you mowed me down. Back and forth, it was a daily habit. You didn't know it hurt, that with every whir of the motor, tease, touch, and disregard, I wanted to scream. You thought you were helping because you thought I'd be more beautiful, cut and pristine to your liking.
I find that people sometimes don't take me seriously. I don't know if it's because I'm a girl, but I assume that because I see other people getting taken super seriously and they're all men.
Well, my daughter was a math major as an undergrad. And every time she told someone that she's majoring in math, they would say, "Oh, are you going to be a teacher?"
Some man came up to me and he said, "Oh, can you make photocopies of these papers?" And I looked at him and I said, "Well, that's strange. Why is he asking me?" Because he thought I think was a administrative aide or a secretary. Then I looked around and said, I can see why he thinks that, because just about everybody here is a male, and there was only a few people around who were female, and they happened to be administrative aides or secretaries.